Society says that men are supposed to be tall and women are supposed to be shorter. Yeah, it isn't right. Luckily, we're taking steps towards body acceptance not only in weight, but height as well. Plus, we all want to become a person that people can look up to, regardless of size. But the ladies you're about to meet have mastered that goal in more ways than one. Here are some of the tallest women in the world. If you're a big fan of tall tales and learning about extraordinary people, then you'll love what we have to offer at The Richest. Take a moment to subscribe to our channel by giving a love tap to that red subscribe button, and don't forget to turn on the notifications by ringing that gray bell. Ekaterina Lesina. According to Ekaterina Lesina, God blessed her with an amazing height so that she could reach for the stars. Standing at 6 foot 9 inches barefoot, she is officially the tallest woman in Russia, and also sports the longest feet in the country at an amazing 12 inches. And she has one of the longest pairs of legs in the world. Her legs measure out to 52.4 inches long. Can you imagine how tall she is when she actually wears heels? It certainly makes dating an interesting adventure when a guy has to stand on a chair to see eye to eye with her. Lesina used to be a basketball player and played for the Russian national team for the 2008 Summer Olympics, where she earned a bronze medal. In 2014, she ended her basketball career and moved on to glamour modeling, as well as other entertainment endeavors that only adults would enjoy. Shopping for clothes, and even something as simple as walking through a doorway, has proven to be a challenge for her. But Lesina manages to stay optimistic and makes a decent living thanks to her height. Even though she isn't playing basketball anymore, Lesina has no problem staying in the spotlight in some form. Amazon Eve. Amazon Eve has been dubbed by the Guinness Book of World Records as the world's tallest model. It took her some time to fully embrace herself, and her story is nothing short of inspirational. She was expected to follow in her father's footsteps to become a scientist and a conservationist, and even got a microscope for her 8th birthday. While she excelled in science, her true passion was being on stage performing. As she continued to grow, she realized she wasn't average when she reached 6 feet tall and then grew another 9 inches. While she got teased in school for being tall, she went to college for theater, science, business management, and law. Eve ended up working in a law office and ended up gaining weight. Then she joined a gym and discovered that she had a knack for fitness and was getting picked up to go on worldwide tours and became a personal trainer. Eve eventually went on to make appearances on TV, and you might even recognize her from American Horror Story Freak Show. She also uses her fame to become an activist for child safety, LGBT rights, and those who suffer from AIDS. Uljana Semjonova. Known as one of Europe's biggest winners, Uljana Semjonova is 7 feet 1 inches tall and one of the most dynamic Soviet-Latvian basketball players in the world. Even when she was playing in the junior leagues, she was a champion, and it's no surprise that Semjonova went on to have quite a successful professional career. She played in the 70s and 80s and primarily played for the TTT Riga. Opposing players remembered her as a force to be reckoned with on the court. Semjonova helped the Soviet Union win 2 Olympic gold medals along with 3 world championships and 10 European championships. She wears a size 21 men's shoe. It's believed that had politics not come into play with the Soviet Union, she could have very well went on to win more championships. Semjonova became the first non-United States woman to be added to the Basketball Hall of Fame. Then she was inducted in the inaugural Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. In 2007, she received the Lifetime Contribution to Sport Award at the awards ceremony for Latvian sports personalities. Even after she retired in 1989, Adidas was still sending her custom shoes to wear. Today, she serves on the Latvian Olympian Social Foundation and continues to contribute to the wide world of sports. Alessani da Silva. Being a teenager is already awkward enough, but also being taller than most of your class can kind of make you stand out, even when you don't want the attention. Known as Brazil's tallest teen, Alessani da Silva is 6 feet 8 inches tall and stands over a foot taller than her significant other. Da Silva had a tumor on her pituitary gland, which caused a form of gigantism. Despite being taller than the majority of her peers, let alone being taller than most of the people in her village, Da Silva stays optimistic and owns her height. She recently married her husband, Francinaldo da Silva Carvalho, who is only 5 foot 4 inches. But despite height differences, the couple are very much in love and lived together for a year or so in a small house in the village of Salinopolis before getting married. They hope to be able to have children, but if Da Silva isn't able to get pregnant because of her height, they are more than willing to adopt. As with all of these tall ladies we have met, De Silva has gotten a lot of media attention for her height, and attention exploded when it was discovered how much shorter her husband was. The media was present at their wedding as well. Heather Green. Throughout her life, Heather Green was always the tallest kid in her class. She hit her peak height of 6'5" when she was 15 years old. Luckily, she learned to embrace her height at a young age and accept herself. In fact, she enjoyed being tall and had the time of her life. For someone who is tall, you might assume that she avoids wearing heels whenever possible. Not quite. She loves wearing high heels and can reach over 7 feet tall when she sports the right shoes. Her shoe size is 13M, and she loves traveling, experiencing foreign cultures, as well as participating in water sports. She currently resides in Las Vegas, Nevada, and manages to draw a crowd wherever she goes. Green also enjoys posing for pictures, although there was some controversy with some photos she took with other people. The photos spawned the rumor that she was actually 7 feet tall, but the people in the photos were shorter than average. Like the guy was 5'7" and the woman was 5'1". Of course, when you put them next to Green, it can make her seem a lot taller than her usual. Nevertheless, without heels and posing with shorter people, she's still taller than your average woman. Phew, ready to take a break? Here's a quiz to keep you entertained. Since we've been talking about the tallest women in the world, who is known as the tallest person in the world? Stick around until the end of the video to find out the answer. In the meantime, let's jump back in and meet some more amazing tall women. Alicia J. Alicia J is a style blogger who works as the game operations manager for the Golden State Warriors. Whenever a visiting team is in the stadium, J gets a few looks and even causes some traffic issues. She stands at 6 feet 6 inches and is known for being the world's tallest virgin. She is 35 years old and still waiting. J admits that she has had a hard time dating because of her height, but that doesn't mean she's eager to compromise her commitment. She grew up in church and also struggled in school because she was bullied due to her height. But once J got to college, she saw other tall women on campus. From there, her confidence took a positive turn and she started to love herself. Her personal style blog is called Tall Swag, and there she brings numerous resources for other tall women who are trying to be stylish. Also, she isn't afraid to rock a pair of 6-inch heels, which will make her over 7 feet tall. J has also become an advocate for tall women in the fashion world and has even worked with a few brands to make more tall-friendly clothing like jeans and shoes, which are two of the most difficult fashion pieces for tall women to find. Jessica Pardo. Standing at an impressive 6'9", Jessica Pardo is Britain's tallest teen while sporting a size 11 shoe. Shopping for clothes can be a staggering task for Pardo because her inseam measures to 38 inches. This means that she has to get a lot of her clothes tailored to fit her perfectly, which can definitely rack up some bills. Sometimes, she can get away with getting expensive designer clothes, but that's still a bit pricey. Her parents are also tall, with her mother standing at 6 feet tall and her father is 6'7", which means Pardo was already expected to be tall. However, she's not even the tallest person in her family. Her brother Niall is 6'10", just 1 inch taller than Pardo. She has since embraced her height and says that she enjoys going to concerts because she gets a clear view wherever she goes. Of course, she always manages to attract a crowd, and a Facebook page was even made in her honor. Pardo's height also hasn't prevented her from having a love life, as she has had a few boyfriends and goes on dates on a regular basis. Trying to be a normal teenager does have its trials though, as Pardo has a hard time fitting into a standard car. Lindsay K. Hayward. If you watch a lot of programming on TLC, you might recognize Lindsay K. Hayward as the star of the show My Giant Life. She is 6'9" tall, and not only is she tall, but she is strong. She was a basketball player in high school, and she started wrestling in 2007. She leg presses 700 pounds, and she is also a professional wrestler known by the ring names Isis the Amazon and Aloysia. Would you want to mess with her? We would not recommend it. While she was on My Giant Life, viewers watched Hayward navigate through life as a tall person going grocery shopping, flying in a plane, and trying to make it as an actress in Hollywood. She did make an appearance on Grey's Anatomy, guest starring as Jade in the second episode of season 12. Also during the show, she was trying to reunite with her father. In terms of her professional wrestling career, she is currently training with Brian Kendrick and hoping to make a comeback to the WWE soon. And she has dreams of wrestling in WrestleMania, which is pretty much the Super Bowl of professional wrestling. Caroline Wells. Standing at 6 foot 9 inches, Caroline Wells is known as Germany's tallest woman. She was born in 1986, and she has turned her extraordinary height into something profitable. She makes a living modeling and often shows off her height in her photos. Nicknamed Caro, Wells embraces her stature, and you'll often see her posing next to doorways and other women who are of average height. She is extremely proud of her height and has garnered her fair share of media attention, even appearing on Access Hollywood. Wells' shoe size is 15, which is amazing for a woman's shoe size, and that can make finding a good pair of heels a tough find. This is probably why Wells has to get custom footwear. Plus, her legs measure out to be 51 inches high, which means that finding pants can also be a challenge, similar to finding a needle in a haystack. She is also a tailor, which is likely a trade she learned since getting clothes to fit her stature is probably a daunting task. While she is modeling only part-time, we wouldn't be surprised if we saw her modeling full-time in the very near future. When it comes to navigating the dating world, Wells is pretty private about that. Jitika Srivastava. Jitika Srivastava is known as the tallest woman in India and stands at 6 feet 11 inches tall and is the daughter of basketball player Pradeep Srivastava. Since her dad's height is 7 feet 4 inches, then it's not a huge shock that his daughter would end up being a similar height. Unsurprisingly, she too played basketball and was a member of the Indian national women's basketball team. But she doesn't let her height take all the attention. She attended Harvard University and helped develop an app called Navya, which would help people with early cancer detection as well as find the best possible cancer treatments for patients. Srivastava was also recognized as one of the most outstanding women of the year for her work. Today, her accomplishments rise far higher than her height, and she is one of the most successful entrepreneurs who is helping to change the world. As if she isn't already doing so much for the world, she is also an angel investor and helps start up companies. Srivastava describes herself as goal-oriented and will do whatever it takes to get the job done. Considering the strides she has made in cancer research, we can say she's definitely hitting her goals. Who is known as the tallest person in the world? That would be Robert Pershing Wadlow. He measured at 8 feet 11.1 inches tall. He lived from 1918 until 1940. He remains as the tallest ever who was measured and determined with irrefutable evidence. Thanks for watching. Can you imagine navigating life as a person this tall? Tell us in the comments. Before you go, be sure to check out the premium as well as some other videos on our channel. If you had a good time, then take a moment to subscribe to our channel and turn on those notifications so you'll know the moment we upload a new video.